Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Milou and I have a flip through for you. I finished this beauty. This is my first traveler's notebook and as you can see it's really chunky and I love the sound of the pages and I love to flip through it. And yeah, I asked you guys if you wanted to see a flip through because I have of a lot of the pages a process video on my channel. So but you guys were interested, so I will show you quite quick. Well, I hope to do it quick. And if you're interested in seeing more about one page, then look for it in the playlist documenting in my TN. There you will find all the process videos of this beauty. So yeah, you will see that, well, like I said, it's the first one I made, so you will see definitely difference between the first page and the last page. I don't like all of them, but in the overall I am very happy with my traveler's notebook. For me it was a chance to experiment with a lot of things and to write my journaling. So yeah, I try to look at it in that way and then I'm happy with it, even though I don't like all the pages like this one. It's very, very simple and yeah, but it's quite calm. It's not the word what I'm looking for, but I hope you know what I mean. Here I use some gelatos and some ribbons to document it, and as you can see I used a lot of journaling. And one thing you will see throughout the whole booklet is the border around the edges. So yeah, here I played with some watercolors and some modeling paste, and I used my first tip in because I needed more journal space. Here on the other side I used the packaging technique with some distress ink, and as you can see it bled through. So this page is, yeah, I don't like it. I didn't like it before because of the stripes. It was not what I wanted it to be, but yeah, the blue gives a nice effect and the story and the picture are more important to me, so it's okay. Like I said, I used some distress inks, a frame and just some embellishments. And here I used some gelatos and I mixed my how do you call it, my modeling paste with some gelatos to get this color. So yeah, here this one is quite busy. If you look at this, and you will see in the end more calm pages, but I really like it. And like I said, it's more about the story and some pictures than of anything else. And I really like this technique with some gelatos and some stencils. Here I did my first tip in. I wanted to use multiple pictures, and because I still had a lot of journaling, it didn't fit both on the page. Like here I did it because my journaling was smaller. This one is personal and I didn't want to see the journaling every time I flick through it. That's why I hide it. I made a pocket inspired by Phyllis, and I did a picture, and this side has my journaling, so every time I flick through it I don't have to see this one because it's not nice. I also document the awful things. So yeah, here this is my only empty page in the whole booklet. It was because I needed to print that picture and then I went further in my booklet, and every time I didn't do this page. So now it's finished and I still didn't do it, so I'm like, oh well, never mind, forget about that one. This is my first double-sided page. It's because I had multiple pictures and a lot of journaling that I wanted to make one spread over 2 pages instead of all in one. It didn't fit, so yeah. Here I have 2 tip-ins, here to fit the pictures, and here because I forgot the quote, and the quote says, "It's kind of fun to do the impossible," and I found it really matching with this page because it's about the Mudmasters, and everything on this page was because of this one, and then I forgot to put it in, so I still use this as a tip-in. Here I had 2 pictures. So I made a tip-in, a flip one, and here I just used some watercolors and my journaling and kept it very simple. And here I have a tip-in made and some journaling and another picture. And here I used some acrylic paints, and like you can see here, it doesn't bleed through. So you can also use acrylic paints very well in your traveler's notebook. These are gelatos and the same technique with the stenciling, and I made another tip-in because I wanted to fit in 2 pictures. So as you can see, I used a lot of watercolors, I used gelatos, I used acrylic paints in my traveler's notebook, and I used stamping, and all these mediums work really well. Here I hid my journaling and my pictures around underneath this tip-in, and yeah, this one is definitely not my favorite. It's quite busy, but when I look at the page, it's the first page I tried working with my Versa Magic. I just bought them and I wanted to make multiple layers, so that's why it's quite busy, but it was a good experiment, and that's what my traveler's notebook is for. The experiment and documenting my life and telling my story instead of only the pictures. Here I experimented with coloring with watercolors, and I used it as a tip-in there, and a quiet, more quiet page on the other side. Here I worked with a lot of with more papers, and you can see it's more whole. Also because I used only 1 day on both sides, but also because of the pattern paper. Even though I used a lot of different pattern paper, they all match. So I really like this page. This one is more busy because of the mixed media, but I also like that. So yeah, you see me use everything, and later on, like here, I was mixing both. I used the papers and I used some watercolors, and I really like that effect of using both instead of more of one. This one is from a scrap soup by Paper Issues. I made this one, so it's more one scrapbook page instead of 2 different journal pages, and I only had a few words to write, so that's why it's quite easy. And here I just bought my Zig Color Clean brushes, and I wanted to try them out, and I got inspired by Charlene van der Vorst. She is also a Dutch scrap, but well, 3TN person, and she makes amazing things. So yeah, I wanted to use them. I did not know how, and I started with this. I really like it. It's quite different than everything else in my booklet, but yeah, it's really nice. Here I use some acrylic paints again and some stamps. And here is another page with just paper. And I used this one to put in there. It's nice. It's easy to look at. Nice to look at, if I may say so. Here I had 1 page left, so I did a quote. My handwriting is not what it's, well, like someone else's, of course, but I need to practice that a lot more. Here I use some stamps and in lighter color, so that makes it a little bit more easy, well, soft. That's what I meant. And here I use some acrylics and some stenciling on top of it to make some layers, and also some papers. This one also has the papers and the paint and just some Zig color clean brushes and some scribbles with my pen, and I really like the effect. This one is just paper, and as you can see it's more I don't know the word. I keep on using quiet, and I know it's not the right word, but I hope you know what I mean. So yeah, and here I used both the papers and the paints, and like you can see, I'm developing my my style in my traveler's notebook. This is the last page, by the way, and I really like it. And I'm so happy this one is filled. And yeah, for you guys, I hope you found it interesting to see and to see my progress in my traveler's notebook. And I can only tell you, keep on going, even though you don't like everything. I definitely don't like everything, but it's so nice to fill the whole booklet. It sounds, do you hear that? It sounds so good, and it's so chunky, and this one actually has quite a lot of pages, so yeah, other ones will be less chunky. Ooh, I'm already at 11 minutes. But yeah, okay, for now, thank you for watching. This one might be part of the marathon, I'm not sure yet, but if you see this you will know. And yeah, I hope to see you next time. Bye!